Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I have the TNT-01 model. It's basically a third-party Skyfire, Jetfire, whatever you want to call them. Where is Skyfire anyway? That is an unsolved mystery. But this third-party one is cool, not as large as the one from Siege, but we're going to go through him, see if he's right for your collection, and if he is worthy of the name Skyfire or Jetfire, whatever. Be right back. So before we get into this third-party version of Jetfire, Skyfire, whatever fire you want to call them, I do want to point out this awesome shirt I have. Me Grimlock no like you. It's actually from AdTS.com and they are sponsoring this video. And they have all kinds of awesome shirts, Transformer shirts, G.I. Joe, Thundercats. There's just so many. And you can head over there and get 30% off your next order with the coupon code TOYSPOTLIGHT80. So be sure to check them out. And now, let's get into Skyfire. I'm gonna call him Skyfire because looking at his face, he is Skyfire. And, you know, there's plenty of Jetfires out there. So let's break him out of his box. Yes, I opened it before, that made that easy. He has instructions, which are important because third-party Transformers can be rather exacting how they work. Now, inside the plastic, he looks like this. And when we open it up, first of all, we have the figure itself, the back part, which goes onto his back, and a whole bag full of shit. Now, this is not cocaine. This is a bunch of additional pieces. He's got not one, not two, but 5 alternate hands. So you can just give him fists so he can punch. Open hands, the Spider-Man finger of pointing. So a couple open hands, plus a different head, which is more of an homage to the original Valkyrie 1S, whatever it was. That was repurposed into the original toy of Jetfire. I like the Skyfire head, so we're gonna leave that on there. Now, as you can see, he has a gun very reminiscent of the gun that he carried in the G1 cartoon and even the Siege version. Now, I put the jetpack on. He's got wings that you can move out. But starting from the bottom, he does have ball joints on his feet a bit. So he's got a little bit of ankle rockers, so you can move him aside and move his legs apart and have him stand heroically. I actually prefer the gun. I'm a righty, so I'm gonna put this in his right hand for now, until we transform him. Now, his legs themselves, he can't quite do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He can do a bit of a split, but he's got a pretty good range of motion there. He's got these hip pieces that kind of, when you move it out to the side, you can pop them up to allow him to do more of a split. He's close. And he's got these covers on the front of his legs that if you move them forward, you can bring the knee up. But because of how the leg is structured, he can't bring it all the way up to like a 90-degree angle. It's more like 79 degrees, but he can still kick out. And if you need him to kick high, he can bend back on its other leg and join the Rockettes. He's got swivels in his legs, so he can go back and forth. Of course, he's got the knee joints, so he can go pretty far back with those. Now, the feet, including the jets, are all attached there, but it's a pretty nice setup there. But all these plates come down and kind of cover him on the bottom. Now, he does lose his backpack. He twists at the waist, but when he's wearing the full backpack, the range of motion becomes limited by that. So he can go back and forth a bit, but you'd have to take it off to allow him to do that. The arms, they have a pretty good range of motion, go all the way up, all the way down. He can swivel off to the side. He's got good articulated elbows and a swivel, so he can swivel that out. He's also got these 2 forearm guns, which also make him formidable. The fists themselves, I'm gonna take off the gun, and I took off the fist. So the fist goes in on a post. They're really easy to swap out the hands. Because it goes in on a post like that, You do have some ability to turn his hands around, so that's pretty nice. His head is on a ball joint and can turn. He can also look up if he needs to. Almost disturbing how far he can look up. View from the back with the jetpack. Again, you can bring out his wings. Looks pretty cool. These can also bend forward, and he could bring out some really big honking guns if he really needs to destroy some people. And of course, you can fold those all the way back in so they just become boosters once again. If you take off the backpack, he doesn't look quite as nice in the back because you can see hollow there and, you know, posts. He doesn't look too bad, but I think he would prefer to have the backpack. So he is a pretty articulated figure. He's about 8 inches with these, about 7 inches without, so he's not too big. Here are a couple other versions of Jetfire / Skyfire. For size comparison, this, of course, is a Siege one, and yeah, he is dwarfed. Here's a Cyber Battalion one, which is maybe slightly taller. Here's the old Universe one, but he does fit in with some of these sizes, but not you, big boy. So if you wanted to use him in some kind of diorama or play with him against, say, the Combiner Wars Devastator, this is a much better size for that than, say, the Siege one over there. So he's a cool looking robot, definitely a great homage. I definitely think he looks more like Skyfire than some of the previous versions, even if you do take off the helmets. But now that we've checked him out in his robot mode, let's check out his Air Guardian plane mode. Oh, and by the way, you can take off the boosters if you just want him to look like that without any boosters. He looks a little more cartoon accurate. And even these side pieces can come off, and the forearm guns, if you so choose. I like him very armed. So there he is in his jet mode. And as you can see, he's got the boosters on the back. He's got jets on the back of the plane. He even has landing gear. Now, the weapon storage is on the bottom. So this is his gun. So part of the landing gear is inside his gun, that we can fold those away if we want him to be flying around, because air resistance. He is armed with, of course, these two guns on the side as well, along with the gun underneath. And again, you can open up the boosters and give him these really big weapons while he's flying. It's got a nice translucent cockpit there. You could have seen it on the chest before earlier too, but it's nice. The wings, you can push them out fully to the sides. They kind of fold out, so you can push them out fully to the sides, or you can have them more retracted, maybe for higher speeds. Not sure, I'm not an aerodynamicist. And you can remove the boosters. You can't remove the entire backpack, or else he does not have wings. The backpack gives him wings. Without the backpack, you can see it's still a nice looking jet. His fists fold away and has little jets in its place, so that's kind of nice. I'm not sure if all the other hands could be stored that way. He also has 3 jets on the bottom here, so he is one fast motherfucker. Not a ton of kibble on the bottom. Can't really tell, though he's got these broad shoulders right here. Ooh, broad shoulders. He also has 2 little jets here on these pieces. And again, a lot of these pieces are removable if you want to. I like him fully loaded. The cockpit does not appear to open. At least it's not supposed to. I could probably get it off if I really put in an effort, but I don't want to do that. But for a third-party version, it's a pretty nice version of Skyfire / Jetfire / whatever the hell he's called. Now, I got him on AliExpress. He goes for about $28 to $30, which is not a bad price. I think with the shipping and the tax, he maybe cost me $35. So considering what they're charging for actual Hasbro products, that's a pretty good price. And he feels pretty sturdy. Plus, he's got lots of things that you can outfit him with. Different hands, so it's kind of a mini, almost a masterpiece. Not exactly 100% accurate to the cartoon, but a very cool looking version of the character. I will put a link in the description. You can get this guy on AliExpress. You can also get him on eBay if that's your preference. Some people like the protection of eBay, and I think he'd fit nicely in your collection. Of course, I have lots of versions of the character, so. Now I do want to remind you that AdTS.com is where I got this shirt, and they're sponsoring this video. Go over to AdTS.com today, get your Transformer shirts. They have all kinds of awesome ones, and Toy Spotlight 80 will get you 30% off your order. And while you're mulling over the shirts, and of course, whether or not you want to get this version of Skyfire, there's another video all about where Skyfire went during the G1 cartoon. He kind of disappeared, and it became an unsolved mystery. And of course, you can like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. We love comments. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.